iHeart Podcasts. Hear more Gold 101.7 podcasts,
playlists, and listen live on the free iHeart app.
It's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. It's the cutting room floor.
On the cutting room floor today, it's all about smells.
Smells. Well, actually, when I went to the Logies last night, you get dressed like at lunchtime, so I needed some deodorant, obviously. Yep. My deodorant had run out, and the only one I could find was one of my son's old Lynx.
Oh, dear.
I was chased by middle-aged women all night. Best night I've had in ages.
Well, at least that took away from the other smells.
Is that supposed to be all the cans?
That's just your floor of your car.
Sure.
There. Are you going to work at Fox Sports now?
So let's talk about smells. I've got a couple of stories this morning that are about smells, body chemicals, and the effect they have on us when we're not even aware of it. This first one, the headline was Women's Armpit BO Can Be Relaxing for Men. So maybe I shouldn't have bothered with deodorant last night. All the men in the room would have been so relaxed.
They would have been relaxed.
Research apparently has shown that they've known this for a while, that women's body odour changes throughout your menstrual cycle. But men find it more appealing around ovulation. That's obvious as to why. You're appealing when you're ovulating, therefore more chances of reproduction. But the chemical cocktail responsible for turning sweat into this subtle signal remains a mystery until now. High-tech chemical analysis has allowed researchers at the University of Tokyo to pinpoint 3 body odor compounds that fluctuate throughout the menstrual cycle and spike during ovulation. So those compounds were added to armpit sweat samples taken from women, and men constantly rated that scent as more pleasing and matched the faces as more attractive, therefore, and more feminine.
Right.
When they could smell that particular scent. So when you get a whiff of those compounds, it relaxes the male participants, reduce their levels of stress compared to the control group.
Okay.
What about story number 2?
Oh.
It's not about number 2.
Don't smell that.
So I saw this the other day. A woman was talking about a scientific study where there were 2 groups who were asked to produce sweat. One group sweated on a treadmill. They ran on a treadmill and produced sweat. Another group, and which group would you prefer to be in, went skydiving.
Oh.
Both activities produced sweat. So they took the sweat from both groups, exercise sweat, skydiving sweat, and gave those samples, fed those through, not fed them, but you know what I mean, passed them on to people who went into an fMRI machine. So this is a third group who went into they didn't know what they were smelling. And it scans their brain. That's what that machine does. What happened was when they were given the smells of the sweat from the people who'd been on the treadmill, their brains didn't change. When they got a whiff of the scent of the sweat from the skydivers, that sweat was a fear sweat.
Oh.
And it led to activity in their amygdala. Is that how you say it?
Magdala?
The part of the brain that is triggered by fear.
Right.
So what this means is that when they smelt fear, they weren't aware of why. It generated their own fear. So as they say here, you can smell the chemicals of fear and you can catch fear. And the follow-up to this, well, not this, what this means is you should always trust your gut. That's what this study was saying.
Yeah.
Is that you have an intuition that you're not even aware of because you're picking up subtle smells. So as well as facial expressions, body language, all of that, we're getting these chemicals that are telling us a story and our bodies are responding to it. So pay attention.
Yeah, well, all those olfactory senses. Michael Hutchins, for example, when that taxi driver punched him in the head and he conked his head on the pavement from the assault, he lost his sense of smell and taste.
I thought he had meningitis and lost his sense of smell.
No, he lost his sense of smell and taste. And that changed his personality because that was, he's a creative person.
It's
That's
a
part
huge
of his
way that we
thing.
interact with the world.
Yeah.
And in ways we're not even aware of. So he lost 2 senses.
Yeah, yeah. And he did say he missed tasting women, which I always thought he actually said that. That's not me. But, poor old Hutch, I'm not saying that that's why he took his own life, but I feel that he was pushing the boundaries because he was trying to look for what he'd missed out on.
Have they? I thought it was death by accidental.
Yeah.
A misadventure.
I think that's always, because that's a thing. Erotic asphyxiation is a thing. People get into that.
Yes.
You know.
And wanting to push boundaries.
Yeah.
If only he could have smelt someone's BO, he'd still be with us today.
If only
He would have relaxed. Ovulation, relax.
If you had the links, Africa,
It all goes back to that.
it might have helped. But instead, you've just got the floor well of your car.
Hey kids, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow for more of Jonesy